Hey, Gary Mintchell here with another one of my occasional podcasts and or videocasts. You're probably, if you're a podcast, you're getting it through iTunes or through my Libsyn site. And also you can get it at automationworld.com. The video is on automationworld.com also, so you can actually see the person who writes all this crap that you read in my blog and other places. 1st of February. This is February 4th. Can't believe we're already over a month into 2010. Next week I'll be in Orlando, so look me up, stop me, say hi, talk about automation. That's fine, or soccer, I guess. But I'll be in Orlando at the ARC conference, although I probably won't see hardly any of the conference. After the opening day keynotes on Tuesday, they have 4 tracks going, and I'm one person, so do the math. And Monday afternoon from 12 until 6, one of the things that ARC now can give their sponsors is access to the press, because a lot of the press shows up at this event, and so this is a great opportunity for sponsors to get in front of the press. So we have press conferences for 5.5 out of 6 hours from 12 to 6 on Monday. So when you see me heading down to the reception Monday evening, you may not want to say hi right away. Give me 5 minutes or whatever. So anyway, that's next week in Orlando. I'll have a report from down there, or as a result of that, 2 or 3 companies have really been sending out reminders, like 3 or 4 of them, to try to tell us that we better show up because they have a really significant announcement. So stay tuned. Maybe next week I'll have some really significant announcements to report. Getting a lot of earnings reports coming in, and they're generally good and positive, although most companies are down year over year from the first quarter. And the first quarter is October through December. A lot of companies are on September 30 fiscals in our area of the industry. National Instruments, although, was up year over year, and perhaps not surprisingly, given the kind of markets they're in and the kind of company it is and the way they sell. So very interesting. Congratulations to National Instruments. Emerson was down first quarter over first quarter the year before. However, they took great pains to point out that the first quarter last year was a record quarter for them in terms of revenues. So even though they were down, when you're down over a record, maybe not quite as bad as you might think. And their outlook for the year is positive. By the way, they made money. It's not they didn't make money. They just made less money than they did the year before. Honeywell's was not quite as broken out, the report that I got. However, they were down in the areas that we're concerned with, automation, controls, sensing, that sort of thing, was down some. The corporation was down. Rockwell was down year over year, actually by a little over 10%, depending on how you want to figure, if you took out some accounting variables and stuff. And I think that's 2 straight years of decline. They were still profitable, and it wasn't that there were negatives. It's just a decline year over year. And the other thing is that Keith Nosbush, though, actually put a positive spin to that, saying it was solid performance. And he also said that the outlook for the year is good, and Wall Street smiled. However, they might have also smiled because Rockwell is just one big cash flow generator. They had a nice big positive cash flow again for the quarter. Maybe that's why I see so many ex-Rockwell people when I go around, people that I used to know working for Rockwell that now aren't. They have had continuing staff reductions in order to keep the cash flow up and keep their profitability up. And the other thing going on, I just got a report from MESA. That's the Manufacturing Enterprise Solutions Association International. Used to be Manufacturing Execution Systems International. Just published a press release, really, over a webcast presentation that I saw a week or so ago, a couple of weeks now. And what they did was a study, Metrics That Matter study, in conjunction with the analyst firm Cambashi, Julie Fraser, who, in my opinion, is one of the top analysts in the area of manufacturing software. Basically, they said that through the study and the results that they had, that if companies automated their data gathering, in other words, they collected a lot of data, they had metrics that they relied on and measured against and so on. So they could measure the metric, they could compare it, they could manage to that. If they did all that, the best companies actually performed well financially. So manufacturing performance and enterprise performance paralleled if they kept all that up. So good things going on there if they did that. An aside that they didn't put in a press release, which you can read all about on my blog at GaryMinchellsFeedForward.com, is that the ones that were MESA members weren't necessarily the ones doing the best work. So joining MESA didn't make you a best performer. It's doing something with the stuff. So we need to get more members into MESA, but we need to get all the members and all the people doing better in collecting data, the real data, and measuring and then managing to the metrics. Once again, Automation World is partnering with Packaging World to do the Packaging Automation Forum. This will be May 4th in the Chicago area, out in Rosemont, out by O'Hare. Put together actually most of it was put together by Pat Reynolds of Packaging World, but it's a blockbuster committed group of speakers. The theme will actually be performance of your manufacturing line. It could be the packaging line, hence Packaging Automation Forum. However, it could also be just manufacturing, maybe the process people ahead of the packaging line, and that whole system is getting the whole line performance up and improving, and there'll be just tons of tips and ability to converse with the speakers and get better tips on what's going on with your manufacturing line performance. A couple of things on lean. Toyota is really taking a hit lately, and I actually saw a tweet from somebody referring to a Wall Street Journal article, which I did not read because I do not pay for. But it implied that, or asked the question anyway, is Toyota's emphasis on lean the source of the problems that it's having these days? And I would answer, if it is, then they have misapplied their own philosophy of lean. Lean should not make for worse quality. Lean should actually improve quality if you're applying it correctly. I think Toyota's problems are really a failure of top management to maintain the discipline of the earlier generation of Toyota owners and managers, and they're slipping a little. They're not actually doing what they should be doing as far as lean. Go to my blog. I also had some ideas on automotive manufacturing, and how all of a sudden there's an opportunity for entrepreneurship in that. And you would have thought that GM and Toyota and Ford would have locked up everything. Not so. Look at Tesla and other things coming up. There might be room for entrepreneurial ability in automotive manufacturing. Who'd have thunk it? Anyway, talk to you next week after I'm in Orlando at the ARC Forum. And this is Gary Mintchell, wishing you a good day.